Welcome back to Pikkit Playbook. If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to do so right now. If you like and leave a comment, you have a chance to win a Pikkit hoodie. Look how gas this thing is. I know we're going into the summer months, but it's a light jacket. You're going to want one. Make sure to subscribe. Today, we have a very special guest. We got Mikey Overs with Josh. They have a morning show called The Morning After Show. Correct, Josh?
That is correct.
Go like, subscribe to their channel as well, because it is February 26th right now, which means March is right around the corner and you are going to want their picks. I promise you, you have not been watching Lipscomb play Newcastle at 12 a.m., but guess what? These two gentlemen do. They actually know their stuff. All right. I'm excited to dive in, get into it today. Guys, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm sharp, because make no mistake, we will bet on a team because it's $3 beer night and it's senior night and their jerseys look cool. So I don't know about sharp, but we're just in the weeds is what I'd say.
I would call that the sharpest college picker right there. That's what I like to hear. Okay.
That could be the sharpest way to bet.
Well, hey, I have to say, you guys look incredible this morning. And if you're like, Preston, that was a weird comment. I know you were taking shots because of big retirement. Diana Taurasi. Yeah. She has announced her retirement from the WNBA, and again, you two might be the only people keeping up with her career. As,
Mikey's arch nemesis is officially gone. She couldn't stand Caitlin Clark.
She couldn't handle the heat in the kitchen, dude. It's hard to be hungover when something that great happens. You know what I mean? Like it feels like the alcohol has no effect in the morning just because you were celebrating. You know, like when you have celebration beers, they don't count in the morning. So we're feeling bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So shout out Diana Taurasi. Enjoy retirement.
Yeah,
you gotta explain it. You gotta explain where this beef came from, because I've never seen someone go after somebody on Twitter like you for Diana Taurasi, and I think you're Caitlin Clark's biggest fan.
Yeah, I mean, it started when Caitlin Clark was a junior at Iowa. I just started watching her, and I think she's just electric. And then she got drafted in the WNBA, and I was super excited to watch the WNBA for the first time in my life. And for whatever reason, Diana Taurasi just decided to talk an obscene amount of smack about her, saying there's going to be an adjustment. She's not going to be able to do what she thinks she can do. Leading up to the UConn game when she was a senior, she was like, she's not going to be able to do all that stuff that she does against UConn. And then Caitlin had a 40 ball. So I was just like, I don't understand why when you have an opportunity to grow the league with the best player that's ever played coming into the league, why you would try to like break her down and like basically say she's not going to be good when she's going to bring the most eyes ever to the league. So I took the stance of being like, Diana Taurasi, why don't you just shut your mouth? Because there's no reason. And then Diana Taurasi ended up going 0 for 4 against Caitlin Clark in the WNBA and retiring after she said that Caitlin Clark is going to have to adjust to the WNBA. So,
Josh, and you support this?
I do support it, honestly. I
stand with our girl.
We started from a different place, though, because I wasn't the biggest Caitlin Clark fan to start with, because I got on her for that little flop that she did after the what game was that? The LSU game, maybe?
I want to say LSU, yeah.
Yeah, when she like flopped, like the fan like bumped into her. Wasn't a huge fan of that. But then once all these girls started attacking her for literally no reason, when she clearly is the best player, probably to ever play.
Yeah.
So I didn't really understand that. So yeah, I am on Mikey's side with this.
Yeah, we got to defend our girl. You know?
We have to.
I mean,
you know how much obscene money I've spent on going on TikTok Live and going into card ripping lives and trying to buy WNBA packs so I could get the Caitlin Clark signed rookie.
Dude,
it's crazy.
It's
That's got to be the most hit or miss thing of all time.
Yeah. Oh, it's missed.
Literally,
it's missed.
You get one card.
I go to Bubble Craps. Yeah, it's way better. I'm telling you, it's tough. But all right, gentlemen, you have to tell me. I've worked with you guys before at Bookit Sports. All right, it's one of the most premier, I would say, gambling content companies of our day and age. You, Trent, all the fellas. You got Lauren there. Electric content coming from you guys. But now you got, I would say, and I mean this, you have the second best show behind Pat McAfee when it comes to talking sports with Josh. Wow. It's incredible. If you guys don't watch it on Twitch, it's amazing.
I appreciate it.
That's high
praise. How do you guys get here? You guys are what, mid-20s? How does this happen?
Yeah, I mean, so I was actually at Bookit when it was an app, like way, way, way before. And then we kind of botched the fundraising aspect, so everybody separated and kind of wanted to get into content because I saw Trent was doing it, and the rule on the app early days was everyone had to make content on the app. So I got drunk when I was like 21 years old with my buddies and created Mikey Over on the Bookit Sports app and started just like shit posting and posting funny plays and betting on D'Angelo Russell because I thought his celebration was cool. Then came back and we were trying to figure out like what we wanted to do. And Josh and I would go back and forth about sports a lot during the day, just in the office. And I did Surgical Stream a couple times. I was like, I actually wouldn't mind doing like a live show. I think it'd be kind of fun. And Pat McAfee is definitely one of my favorite programs. Waking up to Stephen A. Smith as well. And I just asked Josh and I was like, how'd you feel if we just did a morning show talking about sports every day? And he was like, I'm down. So just kind of organically came about, and we've been grinding. The numbers as of late have been definitely increasing and getting better. So we're hoping that we got plenty more years of doing this and plenty more success to go. And hopefully plenty more people like Diana Taurasi we can attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll be coming up. I'm telling you. But I would bet my money 5 years from now, you guys, ESPN show. We knew it when it was on Twitch. You guys still might be doing Twitch because that's where the money's at. But
I don't know if they can put me on ESPN. I'll keep it above.
Yeah.
Josh, so how's it been going with Bookit with you? I know that you were a student, right, when you started?
I just finished school. I literally just finished school, moved out to Vegas, lived with my parents for a year and a half. I interned for about like 6 months, working with Trent on Surge. That was like the only thing that Bookit had going on then. It was pretty much, It was just Surgical Stream and Trent's content. And yeah, I mean, I've tried to help us grow from there on the back end of things. I produced BTL for a while. Now Goots does that.
Shout out Goots.
Goots.
Yeah, dude. Now we got this 2.5 hour long live stream every single day, and it's fun, dude. I never thought I was gonna be doing this, but it's a lot of fun.
Dude, and that's the thing. I mean, with how media is going and how people grow to get these ESPN jobs, to get these jobs, like Barstool, all those guys, it just comes from grabbing a camera, showing that you got the stuff to do it. And I mean, I've seen your stuff. I was actually watching your first video, Mikey, of you guys doing the live stream to now. It's like the camera's like your best friend. It's night and day, dude.
Yeah.
You guys are crushing. It's insane. But so real quick, I know you went to Providence, right, Mikey?
Yep.
Okay, so you're drunk at 21 years old, right? Really no plan. You're like, I hope I get a degree and a good job, but I got nothing going here. And you get drunk, you post. What's that first post you made? I have to know.
Yeah, I mean, it was on the Bookit Sports app. I think the app is like down now.
Yeah,
But I had just lost my senior year to this back half of COVID. I had met Trent at an internship the year before, and he told me about the idea, and I was kind of like, I don't know if sports betting is like that big, because at the time wasn't really that big. And then my senior year, I was in a house with a bunch of my buddies. We used to do this parlay called Pay for the Drinks, and everyone would put a leg on a whiteboard, and then we'd go out to the bar. Hopefully the parlay hit, and we'd pay for the drinks. So the first post, I'm pretty sure, was just like a meme of like a pay for the drinks like parlay that I made for, I think it had to have been college basketball, because I think it was getting close to March at the time when we launched the app. But yeah, I think it had to be like some sort of meme. I don't remember the exact post. But yeah, it was like to no followers on the Bookit Sports app, and I was just like, we're paying for the drinks tonight. And I think my profile picture was like SpongeBob or something like that.
Dude, well, how many people have approached you at a bar and be like, Mikey, you paid for my drinks?
It differs. Like sometimes it's a lot, sometimes like one or two. You get a lot of the guys that are like, yo, you haven't paid for my drinks. And that's the tough one. You get a lot of the guys like, dude, your place suck. It's like, yep, my bad. Hand up. That's on me. But it differs. It changes.
What you get is a lot of shit talk for the people that aren't there. It's like someone will come up to Mikey and be like, dude, Mikey, I love you, but Trent sucks. Yeah. Like it's like that. Like
classic.
that's more what it's
you
like.
Get that. Yeah, you get that.
Dude, and it's also
I get a lot of,
because,
is Trent out?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he's not out. Sorry.
The best is they got $5 on the lay. And like, dude, you sold on me so hard. I'm like, I'm sorry that the 9-legger that you took 2 missed for your $5 moonshot. I can't do it all. I've seen it. No, it's brutal. But no, you've been paying for a few nights for us getting the drinks. I was gonna ask you how you started that. So that's an amazing story that you and your buddies legit would get a whiteboard.
Yeah, they're just botted.
Place your pick and take
a leg,
it.
and then you'd have to place it, and it was like, all right, here we go. And then you'd be out of the bar again. We used to drink vodka cranberries and wear white t-shirts, so I'd just be covered in red by the end of the night.
I got to have one more story from the gentleman, because I know you guys have had probably the most insane life these past 2 years with what you guys do. I'm looking at a Mikey Over jersey in the background. I saw you get that. What league is that again? PLL. I saw you get that jersey swapping. That was incredible. You guys got to tell me your worst or best bet that you've made, where you're like, you're in Vegas, biggest bet you've made, biggest loss or win, and then the coolest experience you guys have had doing Bookit Sports so far.
We might have the same story for this. Mikey's worst, my best.
Oh yeah.
Last year during March Madness,
this is
actually,
fucked
around this time,
I'm still not over this, by the way.
Kentucky played Oakland, and there was a man named Jack Golke on Oakland.
Yeah, if you remember in the March Madness, Jack Golke had a torch on him, had like 30 points. But before that game started, we were in Vegas. Josh and I sat next to each other, watched all the games, and games were not going well for the kid. And I was an avid Kentucky bettor all year. I loved Reed Shepherd. I loved Rob Dillingham. Like, I loved the whole roster top to bottom. And so Josh and I went to the kiosks to place bets right before the Kentucky game. And I was like, yo, Josh, like, I'm going to nuke Kentucky. Like, I'm putting, like, I forget how much I put on, maybe like $300-$200. But I was down a lot. And I was like, dude, I'm like, get back Kentucky minus 13.5. Like, they're going to bang on Oakland. Like, Rob Dillingham's going to go crazy. Like, I'm doing it. And Josh was standing at the kiosk next to me. And he was like, yeah, man, yeah. I'm pretty sure exactly said, yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's.
So I put my money in, clicked Kentucky minus 13.5, and then Josh and I are sitting next to each other watching the game, and I'm in rat. Like, Jack Golke comes out. I think he's 4 for 4. Kentucky takes like a 15-point lead to start the game. Rob Dillingham, I think, had 2 points. Reed Shepherd did absolutely nothing, and Oakland just ran them out of the gym, and I had minus 13.5. And I'm just sitting there in shambles the whole game, like being like, there's no way Jack Golke's going to do this shit. And Josh starts giggling like halfway through like the second half. The first half was kind of silent. Halfway through like the second half, he just starts like giggling. I remember like vividly hearing like the third giggle and just being like, dude, what are you laughing at? And Josh is being like, dude, I have something to tell you. And I was like, what, dude? And he just passes over the ticket. Oakland money line. And I have never felt more betrayed to this day in my entire life. We were going to hire a therapist to come on TMA to talk us through the situation because I was just so in awe that he would sit there at the kiosk while I placed the bet and then take the opposite with the money line. Josh stood me at the kiosk while I put Kentucky and didn't say a word about the ticket and then sat next to me and had the complete opposite. So,
dude,
just never been more betrayed in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, I can talk you
bad
through this
feeling.
though. I could talk you through this because at the end of the day, he was like, okay, sounds good. He should have stopped you. He should have given you his opinion, but he was like, you know what? I'll reserve it. I know he's going to take Kentucky. I can't talk this guy off Kentucky.
You knew you could have talked. I take Josh's bets all the time.
There was no chance in the world that you were getting off Kentucky. Though.
I was so gonna get off
I remember, dude. You liked Kentucky the day they came out in November. You were rocking with them.
Dude.
He was
and
never
Oakland
betting against
sucked. No one even knew that kid until that game. So that's a tough one. And you got to give it to Josh. He took a money line. If he did plus 13 and just faded you right at the kiosk next to you, that's tough. That's we'll talk about that one. The fact he was like, you know what? I'm going plus 1,100 money line. That's conviction. You got to hand it to the kid, Mikey.
It is conviction. But then I was so mad at him that he was like, yo, I'm taking Yale against Auburn. And I was like, fuck you, I'm not doing it. And then Yale beat Auburn. So he was just on fire the whole tournament. And it was the first day of March, and it just really set the tone for me just being like, dude, fuck Josh.
Yeah, Mikey wanted out of that sports book so quickly after that
The minute he handed me the ticket, too, and I'm just looking at Oakland money line and then looking back up at the screen, and they're up 10, and Jack Golke has 35 points. I was never been in a darker spot.
And then the worst is watching him go cash. How awkward was that, Josh? Like, hey, man,
I'll
be right back.
I don't rub it in, though. Like, I'm not the type
to... You came back with
didn't
some
need to.
bills.
That's rubbing it in, bro. You gotta wait till Mikey goes home.
He didn't show the bills, but there's a bulge in his back pocket. Maybe that thick, dude.
How much was the payout?
I only put $100 on him. I like.
But they were
I
plus
love.
1,000 for sure.
Yeah, it was plus 1,100. I think it was like $1,100, $1,200 somewhere around there. But I just like. I'm a big dogs guy, so I'll just throw $100 on massive dogs in March and love to watch.
Putting 100 on a plus 1,100 bet. That's no shame. Don't just say just 100. That took some balls right there.
But for me in my head, it's like this. Me hitting this bet. If this wins, like, I don't care if I lost $100. Like, losing the $100, like, I will feel like the smartest person on planet Earth if Oakland beats Kentucky.
Yeah, like you're good.
And I did.
Like you're good.
And we're still talking about it a year later. And I know you got the dogs this tournament. Real 100%. Quick, gentlemen, on your Pikkit app, if you were to pull it out right now, who would be the biggest sport and player of the sport where you've lost the most money this season? I got to know, just so we stay away.
Pretty simple, NBA Jordan Poole. I think he's been in.
Wow, you didn't even check the app. That's how confident you
No,
are.
if anyone has followed me since the Bookit app, I've been an avid Jordan Poole guy, and he more frequently than not absolutely sucks soul, especially last year. I mean, the amount of times he was up for 19.5 points and he'd have 8 points, 1 for 14 shooting. He is on my Pikkit Wrapped every year since they've done it.
Yeah, I would say mine is probably – I'm a big PGA guy. So
You are a PGA guy.
Wyndham Clark, I love to fade him. Like, I love to fade that guy, and he sucks
Random
my
Wyndham
soul.
Clark.
He sucks my soul more often than not. So
That is crazy.
Probably him.
Wyndham Clark, dude. I don't know what Wyndham Clark did to you. I hope he sees this
Yeah,
because every day he just shows up, gets on the tee box, and Josh is sitting there fading him, just hoping
waiting
for his
for him to
downfall.
shake
Just
How do you how are you
ready,
losing?
Dude, ready.
Like
Dude, he's
you
been playing
literally
good.
stop fading him. bro.
Occasionally he
Like,
plays good, yeah.
We've just been like
That's
nails.
crazy.
Dude, I'll
That's like the
catch him at the
hardest
wrong
sport.
time. I'll catch him.
that's
I'll
the
catch him like a
worst.
round. He goes like +2 the round before. And it's like, dude, okay, I
that's
can
the
fade him
worst.
today, and then he'll go 4 under and suck my soul.
That is
is the
brutal.
worst, dude.
Well, we have to get into March Madness. You guys got to tell us the picks. But before that, I have to tell you, Pikkit Protection has just been launched today. Pikkit Protection is a new feature on the Pro app where they will literally tell you if a sportsbook has scammed you. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a scam. But if they graded your bet incorrectly, meaning that your bet was actually a winner, but the sportsbook marked it as a loser, that is the worst thing ever if you don't catch it. Pikkit Protection will send you a notification immediately letting you know that, hey, your bet actually hit. Go tell your sportsbook. And you're going to need that because March Madness, there's plays from morning to night. And we are about to give you every single winner that we think may hit. Mikey, Josh, I will start by saying Duke and Auburn are possibly the undefeated teams, or they're not undefeated, but they cannot be beaten right now. They are so hot. And if you guys saw Duke last night, I don't even know who'd they play again? Miami?
Yeah, they beat the crap out of Miami.
It looked like an NBA team. And I think everyone's going into this tournament. I remember a few years ago with the Zion team, RJ Barrett, that Duke team, no one was beaten. They lost. Is this going to be another, episode where Duke goes down in the Sweet 16 of the Elite Eight maybe? Or are they the truth?
I think you're going to see the most parity in a March Madness tournament in a long time this year. So I wouldn't be shocked if both those teams go down. I mean, we've seen early in the year, like Duke looks good now because they're at the back half of their schedule playing really, really, really shitty ACC teams. But we faded Duke 3 times in the beginning of the year when they played legitimate opponents, and I'm pretty sure they lost almost every single matchup.
And one of those legitimate opponents that we thought at the time, I believe, was KU who beat them. And KU is not
Yes,
good.
it was.
KU's not a good basketball team. They beat them earlier in the year, I believe. So
The blueprint is there.
I think the ACC is kind of weak. I think that the true number 1 team is Auburn. Like, I don't think that that's a crazy thing
agree.
to say. Like, I think the SEC is by far the best conference in the entire land, and they are by far the best team in it. So if there was one, obviously I told you I love dogs, but if there was one team that I could see making a run, that's a massive favorite. It's them.
Auburn, especially after last year losing to Yale and bringing back a lot of the key pieces.
Yeah.
But I like St. John's this year. I think that team is so well coached, is so deep. They have so many scorers at every position. Kadari Richmond is finally playing like the guy that they paid him to be. I wouldn't be shocked if St. John's goes on a little run once we get to March. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to bet against Auburn in March Madness this year because they are just top to bottom 1 through 8, an unbelievable basketball team.
I mean, who would have thought the SEC, they didn't do anything in college football this year, and I think they have 7 or 8 teams in the top 25. Like they're insane. But the issue with them is, like, even last night, Florida, number 3, getting blown out by Georgia in the first half. I didn't watch the end of that game. Did Georgia win?
Yeah, they did. Florida almost came back, though.
Florida
they came
back,
a
was
little
up
bit.
1, and then melted in overtime, I believe.
Guys, how are we going to bet this March Madness? Mikey, you just said something this is like going to be the hardest March Madness to bet because every team
100%.
has a chance. I don't think there's any true bad teams here. I think, you're obviously going to get those 16 seeds, the 15 seeds, but even 15 seeds. I mean, you're still bruised from the 14 seed Oakland against Kentucky. So, I need to know. You got to tell the people. St. John's, I wouldn't call them a Cinderella. I would a little bit. But who's the Cinderella that I'm talking is going deep and getting all the coins back. If you have the faith to ride them, just 3 games, they can literally probably put up like that. You already can see the graphic of if you would have just done money line on this team, $100, you'd be at $240,000. What is that team? That's what I need to know.
I think it's tough because it's not going to be St. John's. They're going to be favored at every single game in this tournament. I wouldn't be shocked if they're one of the 4-1 seeds if they win the Big East tournament, because they're definitely going to win the Big East regular season. I think a team that could be really sneaky that you might be able to get at some plus chicken, it might be one of these lower half SEC schools. Definitely not a Big Ten school. Save yourself and don't bet the Big Ten. But actually, though, no, Maryland will be a favorite. I was going to say maybe potentially Maryland. I think a team that could sneaky cause some problems that'll be plus chicken a lot might be this year's UConn team. If they can get in the tournament, I don't think they're going to be favorites in any of their matchups because of how bad they've looked. But, I mean, Hurley and March might become the new system, and I could see a UConn team that no one's really talking about, no one really has any faith in. If they can squeak in, be a team that is plus chicken in almost every matchup because I think they're out right now.
They're like right there.
They're on the bubble.
They're right there.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh?
I mean, I don't know if you'd call this a Cinderella, and I'm a fan, but
Yeah, just say it.
The Missouri Tigers are the real deal. Like they play 9 guys, they could play 10 guys if they want, and they have hung with every good team in the SEC besides Auburn. Auburn smacked us, but we beat Florida. We lost by 3 to Tennessee on the road.
Caleb Grill's an all-time.
We have one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. He's going to be a guy that's like the Jack Golke of last year. You see him because he's not on the national stage yet. No. He hasn't been.
Josh, I just heard a red flag go off in my head. You referred to the Tigers as we. Are you a personal fan of this team? Because I don't know if I can follow you in the weeds with this one. Then
I actually might as well be on the team.
Oh. This is a personal play. This is
but they're good. No, but they're good.
It's really not. Like, it's really not. Like, I genuinely think that they're like the middle of the pack. They're not middle of the pack. They're top of the SEC, probably top 5. But I think that they're a team that nobody really thinks can do it. Like, you look at just Missouri in general. They've never really done anything in the tournament. I think that this is like a legit basketball team that can beat anybody in the country, I think.
I mean, just the way you're telling me, I'm in. I'm riding that. Also, I will give you guys a tip because I know. Are you guys going to Vegas for this year's March Madness?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Okay.
I am going to fight to be there as well, and I cannot wait to be nuking at the kiosk with you. It's going to be a blast. There is a bet, and I'm going to let you in on it. If you can time them correctly, there is a bet that is so sharp, and it stacks me up for every March Madness. It's first half unders. The kids come out. They're nervous. They're sweating. They're missing everything. It's tight defense. First half unders in the first round, undefeated. And that's when we will get all the coins back from your Oakland. All right, Mikey? I promise you.
I can't bet it. I can't bet it. I can't bet an under. I can't bet an under. It's just
I hate unders too.
I can't do it.
What you're telling me is you don't like to bet winners right now because it's winners. And you love money, right?
Enough.
Let's do it.
Let's died by it. Fair enough. I know Chelly loves his first half unders.
That's what Chelly goes to Vegas and just nukes first
half unders.
First game of the day, he nukes the first
game of the
day,
first half under.
Because Chelly runs to Trent, and then Trent takes it, and they're like, "You're not going to believe this. We're sitting at 118 points in the first half," and I'm like. Well, thanks a lot, Chelly. That cooked this right there. We got 2 more segments for you guys. That is your March Madness blueprint right there. Obviously, we're going to get these guys back on, and they're going to tell us exact matchups. We don't have them right now. But right now, those are your Cinderella teams. Gentlemen, every single Pikkit Playbook episode, we have a Moonshot Parlay, and because Josh is here with us as well, it's going to be a $200 Moonshot Parlay. If it does hit, we will split this and go to Vegas for March Madness. You guys will already be there, but now we have a lot of money if we hit this 8 Lakers. So start us off with the first pick. Mikey,
I'm going to go Ole Miss. Shout out Mary Kate. I feel like it's an all-time narrative. I just feel like I want to be involved in that. Let's go Rebels. Definitely Ole Miss. I think they're going to get clapped today, and then I think they have a favorable matchup on this Saturday. Obviously, there's no line out, so kind of just picking and choosing, but Josh and I have been fading Oklahoma a lot this year, and I think after Ole Miss loses today, coming back home, playing Oklahoma, and also shout out Mary Kate, I think Ole Miss wins.
That is the strongest first leg I've ever had. I'm so in. I love how your comment was you would love to be involved in that. Let's just leave it at that. We don't need to get too far into the weeds there.
Yep.
Josh, hit us with the second leg.
I'm going to go with North Carolina. They play Miami. Miami is so bad. They've packed it up. Their season's over. They don't want to play anymore. And North Carolina needs to win games to get in the tournament. Like, they need these games. So I think this is a bloodbath.
RJ Davis
Wow.
legacy game too there.
I'm going to go leg 3. It's simple. The Mountain West overs have been hitting. And that's all you need to know. We're going Utah State, Colorado State over. It's that simple. Just take it. You're going to look at your ESPN app because you're not going to watch this game. And it's going to be sailing over 6 minutes left. So I think it's simple. Also, I wanted to just throw in, I am from Albuquerque. This city would be flooded by the National Guard if we made the Sweet 16. I will be putting money on UNM to make the Elite 8.
Shout out
Just
Donovan
throwing that
Dent.
in there. Just throwing that in there. I think it's their year. Give us the fourth leg, Mikey.
I'm going to go a game that I think is going to have a very large spread, so maybe a safer money line. After just getting run out of the gym against Alabama, Mississippi State brings one of the worst teams in the SEC, LSU, into their gym. I do think they're going to get knocked out of the top 24 after that loss to Alabama. So I think this becomes a must-win, must-beat-up on a really bad LSU team. So Mississippi State, money line against LSU.
Wow. All right, I know you guys have 2 picks each, so I'm going to throw one in. I know one thing, and it is that we have to take a butt crack state game. So we're going to go to New Orleans versus UT.
Hold on.
Wait, we have
We
insider
have
info.
inside info on New Orleans.
Because we took them the other day.
It was just announced that for the past month, they've been sitting their 4 best scorers because they're getting investigated by the NCAA for sports gambling.
You're kidding.
No. Just saw it today. Just saw it today.
This insider info sounds like you guys were paying them off.
No.
Listen, we've been writing them. We're kind of in the weeds, so don't bring them up.
Yeah, well, no,
attorney
because
said not
Josh
to.
took them for a POD the other day, and then I literally saw a tweet today that they've been sitting out their 4 leading scorers this year because they're getting investigated.
And I would not be surprised if they were throwing games because they were up 10 when I took them with 3 minutes left and they lost the game.
Well, so the reason I was actually bringing up this game, New Orleans sucks, is what I was about to say.
Yes.
And now I know why. It's because Josh and Mikey have been paying them to throw games. And let's let them throw one more, gentlemen. We're going with the UT Rio Grande Vaqueros. All right, they're gonna run it. I love UT Rio Grande. The kids fight. They go out there. They fight. They know they're not going to the NBA. They just want to win the game. Is it the Vaqueros? Vaqueros. We're taking the UT.
That.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that too.
All right. Josh, hit us with the
Last
play.
one. I think this is actually fitting for the last one because I want to go to the land late night.
No.
Dude, let's go to the land and let's take Hawaii against
the
UC
island?
Davis.
Yeah, I love that on the island. Yeah, you got it.
I love that. Love
Dude,
that.
I would love to text you guys at 2 a.m. saying, boys, we're going to Vegas.
That's what
because
I'm
the
saying, like,
8-legger
that's-
just hit.
It'd be the best way to cash it too.
That'd be unbelievable.
Can we guarantee that if we are 7 for 7 and this is all we need for us to win a $200 8-legger that we will live stream on Bookit's channel and watch the game until 2 a.m.?
11 a.m. on Saturday, I'm not going to be able to see my feet, so I don't know if I'll be in attendance for that.
We'll try our
definitely
best.
Going out. Definitely
We'll try our
going out
best.
on
How about
Saturday.
that?
We'll try our best. Yeah.
Yeah, we try our best. I will try
I'll
my
probably
best.
be doing nothing. I'll get in there.
I'll try
There
my
we go.
best. I'll try
There
my
we
best.
go. All right, last 2 plays for you. Tell me if I'm wrong, Mikey. I trust you if you want to knock one of these off. But I'm telling you, the Ancient 8, all right? It is a scoring machine. I love it. There's only a few games that get tight. No one's going to the NCAA tournament. Penn versus Columbia. Guarantee the number's going to be about 144. It's going over. Every single halftime, it's going to be 44-38. We're flying over on that one.
Okay. All right.
All right? And then to finish us off on my picks, we got Washington State and Pepperdine. Pepperdine doesn't like to play defense. They think it's overrated. The coach just said, how about if we just score more than the other team will win? That's his philosophy. Washington State puts ball in bucket. They're a rowdy squad to watch. We're taking the over there too.
I love that.
I mean, yeah, you are
you're
speaking Mikey's
dialed-
language right now.
Yeah, you're dialed in. You're dialed in.
They're Mikey Overs. I can't believe I even pitched unders to Mikey Overs. That's disrespectful.
Dude,
I
you're dialed in.
apologize.
That last one I love. That
Bang.
one feels good.
There we go, guys. $200 on that 8-legger. I will be posting it on the Pikkit app. I'll be tweeting it at Mikey and Josh, and it's going to be $200, 8 legs. Could probably win about 22,000. We've hit them before, and you know why we're going to hit it this time. You heard it there. I have one more game for you, gentlemen, and I'm going to let you guys go. This is one of my favorite games. It's called How Many Beers to Take This Bet, presented by Pikkit Sports. Are you guys ready, and do you understand the rules? You'd be surprised how many people don't.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I thought that question was going to go a completely different
do something
way.
else. Yeah,
it's going to be like Diana Taurasi, never.
Dude,
not enough beers.
I was literally asking my brother. I was going to say how many beers for you to take Diana Taurasi on a date. And now that you brought
beers in America,
that is a bold claim.
You'd have to start pulling beers in from Europe.
Imported.
Yeah,
all right, here we go. How many beers would it take for you guys to bet that Angel Reese can hit 10 free throws in a row?
I'd need my stomach pumped.
What's
She can't.
Yeah,
You're just throwing money.
Maybe like a fifth of vodka. throw away the beers.
Yeah. I'm with Josh. Throw away the beers. Fifth of vodka sounds good. Make it like Burnett's too, so it just sucks going down.
A fifth of vodka from the gentleman to take that bet.
Yeah.
Next one. How many beers would it take for you guys to bet that Caitlin Clark can beat Diana Taurasi one-on-one?
Stone cold sober.
Yeah, same.
It's a glass of water.
Wow.
Don't need any. I don't need it.
Little
You know what?
ice
I'll
cold
take
water.
5 beers just so it's more fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I don't need beers to bet it, but I'm gonna need beers to watch it because we're just gonna be having fun.
I love that. Honestly, another disrespectful question. Of course, you guys are going to have some warm-up beers, but that's besides the bet.
Yeah.
How many beers would it take for you guys to bet that Bronny stays in the NBA after his dad retires?
Oh man.
I would go with like 1 or 2 because I think personally that he's going to be there. I think he's going to grow into a good player. He's got the intangibles. He does. If you just watch him play, he does.
I'll say like a 6-pack of like a craft 5% beer, where by the end of the 6-pack, I'm definitely feeling. I'm like, yeah, Bronny could be fucking good in the NBA.
That Bronny kid, he's got some talent.
he's LeBron's kid. Like he's not gonna be that bad.
People are going to hate that take that I just.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, all right, Josh. Then how many beers for you to bet that Bronny in his career wins the league MVP?
Oh,
Yeah, you need fucking.
that's
Yeah, see you later.
That's
You're
more
back
than
to
the
the
Angel
vodka?
Reese fifth.
Back to the vodka.
Go to the handle.
back to the bottle. We're going back to the bottle.
All right, Mikey. How many beers for you to bet that Providence makes the Final Four? Josh, same question, but Mizzou for you.
We're not even gonna be in the tournament, so I would just be burning money. We're almost dead last in the Big East. How many beers to bet that though? Because I'm so out on my school right now.
But who knows?
Probably have
What
to
if
go
they win
back
the
to
tournament?
bottle.
Back to the bottle.
Yeah, I'm going back to the bottle. Maybe like maybe a fifth for the confidence, just to be like, yeah, we could win the Big East tournament and then get in. Yeah, probably fifth.
I
don't know if you need any beers.
I don't need any. Dude. I am bought in on this team.
Wow.
I'm fully bought in.
I love that.
Wow.
Literally
All
no.
right. And then this one's simple. MLB's also coming up. How many beers for you guys to bet that Paul Skeens wins the Cy Young this year?
Well, I am a new Pirates fan, so Rav, shout out Rav, just got hired at Bookit. I've never had a baseball team in my life, and I watched him watch Pirates games this year, and I love rooting for horrible franchises because it's just what I was born into, and Rav convinced me to become a Pirates fan, so maybe like 3 beers to be like, yeah, he's not going to get Tommy John this year. He could win the Cy Young. Like, he could do it.
Josh, you liking that answer?
I'm gonna go like 8 to 10. Honestly,
No
I think.
way.
Obviously, I think he's the best pitcher in baseball right now. But I don't think his team's good enough to get the wins for him. And I think there's gonna be a couple other pitchers,
Great call.
a couple other pitchers this year that will surprise you. That'll be up
Wow.
there.
I mean, honestly, if he doesn't win the Cy Young, are him and Livy in trouble?
I don't know, because he's going to get a bag from the Yankees in like 4 years.
True. Investment right there.
Or the Dodgers. One of those teams is paying him $1 billion.
Yeah.
2 more questions for you, gentlemen. There is a person in your guys' ranks of Bookit Sports, and he just has this curse around him. He's been doing better. He's actually a primetime better now, and he usually calls primetime games well. However, big OKC fan. And I saw he was at the OKC game on the floor. And if you guys watch the footage, he is pretty disappointed because his team could not do anything with Trent there. Just going to come out. It was Trent. That team right now is second favorite to win the NBA Finals at plus 200, sitting behind the Boston Celtics at plus 170. So how many beers would it take for you guys to bet that OKC wins the NBA Finals with a fan like Bookit with Trent in their ranks?
I don't really believe in the fade god stuff. I just think it's more funny. I just would never bet on them because I just can't see them win. I'd rather, you know what I'd do? I would probably drink 14 beers, probably Bud Lights, be hovering over the Thunder button, and then click the Knicks at plus 600 is what I would do. I'd be like, all right, you know what? I'm finally here. I could probably bet the Thunder, and then I'd look at the board and I'd be like, nah, the Knicks are doing it.
I'm not doing that. What about you, Josh?
Dude, I'll probably go. I'm gonna go with like 19 beers because that's how old everyone on the team is, and they're not winning the championship. So that's
gotta make your
wow.
peace. They're not winning it.
Yeah, they're just too young.
All right.
I think they're too inexperienced. That's what it is. I think obviously their time's gonna come. I think, but not this year, in my opinion.
And off the top of your head, do you guys have a generalization of the top 10 college basketball teams in the nation right now?
Yes.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. We don't have to hold you to this, but it is the internet. They might. Can you guys you guys can pick the same team, or give me one team in the top 10 that has absolutely no chance of winning the March Madness tournament, the national title. And if they do, you got to get a belly button piercing.
And if they do,
That's how confident I want you to be. It's the internet. I'm not going to hold you to it. I'm just curious.
I already know what Josh is going to be.
I just want to make sure that this team is in there because I know that they're on the fringe.
I already know who you're going to pick.
Who? Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, they're in the SEC.
No, they are not in the SEC.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, this team is not. They did not squeak in.
Mine is Michigan State. They're not going to do it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call. I'm going to go with Iowa State. I'll go with Iowa State. I think Iowa State has no chance. They're frauds every year. They get a high seed and they never do anything.
I just don't trust Jaden Akins. If he's your best player, you're not winning a national championship.
Wow. Guys, for your sake, I hope we're not sitting in the Final Four with both those teams in and the belly button piercing coming up.
Yeah, that would suck.
Especially with summer around the corner. Guys, thank you so much for coming on Pikkit Playbook. We will definitely have you guys on for March Madness. I know you guys are going to have so many picks. You guys are going to do all your brackets. Mikey Overs, you're the man. Go subscribe and watch the morning after. I'm telling you, it is the best college basketball show up to date. I mean that.
Thank you, bro.
Also,
we have,
I have to say, to close out our show, we always have the guests give a pump-up speech for our parlay that we are going to place this week.
All right.
Take it away.
Listen, on a Saturday, there's only one thing on your mind, and it's you against the books. It's you against those beers, and it's you against those books, and I'm going to ask you who's going to come out on the other side. And when you look at this parlay and you look at those beers, you know the answer is you. So lock in, dial it up, and let's go get one for the good guys.
Dude, I got chills, bro.
Let's go. Let's go.
Dude, I'm going to start cracking it into Wednesday. That was awesome, dude.
Let's go.
That was awesome.
Let's go.
Make sure to like and subscribe to Pikkit Playbook. We will see you next week. And happy hunting. March Madness right around the corner.
Let's go. Thanks for having us on, man.
Thank
This
you.
was fun.